Hello, welcome back to my channel, or one of my channels. I've got another Commodore 64 to fix here. This one is another one from the triage episode that was out some time ago, depending on when this was released. And in that, well, this one has come back. This one came back. This is featured in a repair pile video. It was number 7 in a previous repair pile video. It was fixed then. I think it might have just worked, and then Paul sent it back because it's coming back with no picture, and I triaged it in the triage video, and CIA2 turned out to be bad. So let's have a look. And oh joy, the CIAs are soldered in. Let's get it out of the case. There's a lot of broken posts under there. Does that not want to come out? Stuck in that corner. It's like a screw, too long a screw has been used on this one here. Right, let's see if it works. Right, it appears to be working. So let's try it with some diagnostics. We go for the DES test switch first. And straight away you can see that one of the CIAs is not counting up. But the whole thing appears to work. Right, I'm going to attach the test harness to it and see if I can pin down the CIA. Right, let's try it with the test harness. I'm getting nothing now, it's a black screen. I'm getting no video output at all now. And this is actually, if you look at this, the note that he left, coming back no picture. I wonder if we're duplicating the fault. Oh, right, let's start with the basics. Voltage. Do I have anything? There's not much voltage coming in. Fuse, oh no, fuse is still okay. There's no voltage coming in. Well, there's 5 volts coming in. I don't think there's any 9 volt coming in. Well, I've had a little play with this, and I turned it off, pulled the plug out, and I switched it on and off and on and off vigorously for a minute or so. Tried it again and it just sprung to life. So the switch is temperamental, and I've got a feeling the first time this came through here it was doing a similar thing, and I might not have cleaned up the switch at that point. So I think what we need to do is service the switch. Take off this side plate first, just to give us a bit easier access to the switch. I've got 6 points here and 2 mounting points here. I'm hoping that my desoldering gun, yeah, just about fits perfectly over there. I don't think that's sucking very well. Or maybe it's sucking too well. Still quite a lot of solder in this one, and for some reason my desolder station is not sucking it away. Yeah, that pad's gone as well. Barely touched that. There's still some solder holding on inside this one. I don't know how that's... There we go. So I lost both pads on this side, have gone, but I should be able to flow the solder down through there just to anchor that, and that's the only reason that is there, is just to anchor this down stop it moving about. So I should be able to fix it. I should be able to fix it down anyway. That shouldn't be a problem. Very, very fragile pad that was. Right, that's all clean. Let's have a look at this. Now, these can be a bit tricky. Pry them open. Actually, I've got this very thin screwdriver that's quite good at this. If I get it in there. And a little bit on this side. Just to loosen things up. Now there's two areas to worry about here. One is inside this half. These contacts rock backwards and forwards to make or break the circuit. We'll come to that in a second, but this is the other that part of it. Sometimes this part can get stuck. So this bit here just sits on this metal prong here, and this has a spring behind it. You can just see the spring poking out there, and if that can get all gummed up and jammed in there, and if it gets stuck, then it doesn't put pressure on this part, which is the thing that puts pressure on these. This side is actually okay. I don't need to worry about that. So we'll leave that for now, and then we'll get this bit out. So the contact is not this top bit. You can see there's some wear on the contacts in here, but that's the top side, and they don't actually make any contact. This is the side that we need to worry about, the underside. I'll get both of them out. They don't look too bad on those bits, but you've got you've got 6 contact points inside here. The middle one is always connected, so the half of the 9-volt will come in on, which way around does it go? Yeah, half of the 9-volt will come in on this side, on the middle one, and then go back out on this side. This isn't connected. The top side here is not connected to anything, and the 5-volt will come in on this one and go out on this one. So these two are the ones that get corroded, because this is always in contact with the middle bit. But when these are switched on and off, you get these will arc every now and then eventually you get some carbon building up, and it stops it working. They don't look too bad. I am a bit confused why this wasn't working. I wonder if this was stuck in here. I will lubricate this. I'll drop some oil in, some silicone grease inside the where the spring is, to stop this from seizing up again. That's probably what it was. These look okay. Yeah, the way that I deal with these is a bit of contact cleaner, and then a pair of bluntish, blunt-nosed tweezers, and just gently scratch away at the top, just to remove any contamination that might be there. Fine, and then drop the contacts back in. They're kind of curved on one side, and you want the curvy side down against those contacts. I'm just going to give these a little going over with some very fine sandpaper. Doesn't need a lot, just to shine them up. This is like 2000 grit paper. Yeah, they're fine. Right, so I'll leave those again to one side. Pop this out again. Get some grease down there. That's what I'm using. Silverbrook waterproof silicone grease. I think that will last me forever. I'm just going to chop the end off of a Q-tip, cotton bud, and make it into a point. Next stage of this operation is to get it back together, and the way I do this is to straighten out these legs. So at the moment the sides are like this and the legs are still pointed in, so it won't go back together easily. So I just straighten these out. Like that, and then straighten the sides out as well. Until, oh, and you need to get this the right way round. So these prongs need to go on the same side as the legs here, and then carefully slide it back together. Don't know if that's, no. Yep, it's gone in straight now. Oh, one of the contacts just popped out. There we go. Right, with that held in place, I can feel that the switch is working fine. And now putting pressure on the sides there, I get a slightly thicker screwdriver and then just bend these tabs back around. If you don't get it quite right, it will be loose. And you don't want, well, there can be a little bit of play in there, but you don't want very much play there. Yeah, that's tight. Straighten the legs up that I've just bent. All right, we should be able to put that back in the board. Now I've got to try, oh, I didn't show you that. I've just soldered these 6 legs in with my special thick weller, and now I've just got to try and get some solder to run into these bits here. Yeah, that feels like that's going down. Yep, both of them have soldered fine. There was enough wire sticking through that the solder could flow onto it, and I bet that's flowed up onto the other side as well. Yeah, I can see it. It's really difficult to see, but just under there I can see there's solder on the top side, so this is very firm. Right, I wonder if it works. It's never a pleasant thing when you lift a pad off of a board, but sometimes they just want to, you know, they're just not very well stuck down. They're just going to go whatever you do, and I had to take that switch off. I couldn't leave it like that. So I don't feel bad about it. I mean, it's not the nicest feeling in the world when it happens, but you just got to accept it as part of the process. Right, does it still work? It does not. Something else is wrong. I did see it flicker a minute ago. Something else is broken. Well, so I thought that the switch was in remarkably good condition for something that I suspected might be faulty, which would have explained what was going on here. But something else is going on. Could it be this socket? That doesn't feel very good. That feels a bit loose. Okay, I'm getting a flicker on the screen. It's not very happy. Yeah, it's working now, but if I move this socket, yep, it's a socket. Okay, I've got plenty of those. So I am worried that I'm going to take out the pads on this side that aren't connected to anything. There's some pads up here that, for instance, that pad there is connected to this nice big thick trace, and that pad there is connected to that nice big thick trace, and there are pads on the other side that are connected to traces as well, and they tend to be much harder to move off of the board, so that you won't destroy those pads. But I don't know if that middle one is connected to a trace, and these are almost certainly, well, they're not connected to a trace on this side, they're at risk because there's nowhere for the heat to go. You need to put enough heat into this to get the leg hot enough to transfer heat through to the other side so that all of the solder can come through. But that much heat can just sit on this pad and basically make the glue that's holding it melt and fall off. So let's try it. Turn the station down as low as it will go. But some boards are just like this. They just want to make life difficult for you. I think we're mostly good. We're just a couple of stuck legs. Yeah, it's the middle ones that are stuck. Yep, everything's loose now. There we go. This is the new one, new old one. Not sure what was wrong with this one. Might be just bent pins in there or a little bit baggy. Let's put this one in and hopefully that will solve it. Oh yes, a much nicer, more positive action. Okay. Yeah, and moving that around does nothing. Right, so that's problem number one, but we did have another problem. Diagnostics cart back in. The counter on the CIA on the right doesn't count up. There we go. So we know, I think that corresponds to the second CIA in U2. I don't think I've got any spare CIAs, so that might mean this machine has to wait for its turn, but I'll have a search around. I can always borrow one for now, just to make sure it is all working. It's a pretty fragile board this, but I'd managed to not damage any pads. A little bit of solder mask missing, but it's not too bad. Here's my test board. See if it switches on. Yeah, oh, actually, there is no cursor. So I've put that one back in the left-hand CIA in U1. So there's no cursor, so that is a faulty CIA, but I will just run the diag test. Yep, so the left one is now not counting up. Borrow my CIA for now. Hey, they're both counting up together. Really nice, lovely. I'm going to leave this one here because I previously worked on this. I would have tested it. I would have tested the keyboard already. The case clips, I don't know if it was me that fixed these. Yeah, it looks like it was me that fixed these case clips. So the case clips have already been done. Keyboard's already done. That one's just needs screwing back down into its case and ready to go. I hope you enjoyed that fix, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, I was recording.